Hello, welcome you to watching Daily News, and now today's headlines.
Vietnam and China issued joint statement on the occasion of President Trương Tấn Sang's visit. National Assembly wraps up 5th session. Politburo member Dinh Thị Huỳnh visits Vietnam News Agency on Vietnam's Revolutionary Press Day.
Vietnam and China on June 21st issued a joint statement on the occasion of President Trương Tấn Sang's visit to China. The visit took place from June 19th to 21st at the invitation of Chinese President Xi Jinping.
During the visit, President Sang held talks with Chinese President Xi Jinping. He met with the Chinese Premier and the Chairman of China's National People's Congress Standing Committee. The leaders exchanged views in depth and reached broad common perceptions on deepening the Vietnam-China comprehensive strategic cooperation in the new situation. They reached consensus on deepening land and sea border defense cooperation with 2 joint naval patrols to be carried out in the Tonkin Gulf this year. The 2 sides will strive to fulfill the goal of $60 billion in bilateral trade ahead of schedule. Both agreed to further deepen cooperation in agriculture, culture, and science and technology. The 2 sides will continue to well implement the agreement on fishery cooperation in the Tonkin Gulf and actively conduct research on new joint checking methods in the common fisheries zone in the Tonkin Gulf. The 2 sides exchanged their views on sea-related issues in a sincere and straightforward manner and reached consensus that the 2 parties and states should maintain regular exchanges and dialogues on Vietnam-China sea-related issues. The 2 sides agreed to intensify negotiations of the working group on the sea off the Tonkin Gulf. On June the 20th, President Trương Tấn Sang met with Chinese Premier Li Keqiang. The 2 leaders agreed to bring economic links to a new stage and enrich the comprehensive strategic cooperative partnership between the 2 nations. Regarding sea-related issues, they were unanimous in maintaining contacts and dialogues and satisfactory settlement of emerging issues through peaceful means. The same day, President Sang met with Chairman of China's National People's Congress Standing Committee, Zhang Dechang.
Prime Minister Nguyễn Tấn Dũng met with former Japanese Prime Minister Yukio Hatoyama and UNESCO Director General Irina Bokova at separate meetings in Hanoi on June 20th.
Meeting the former Japanese Prime Minister, the Vietnamese leader spoke highly of his contributions to consolidating bilateral ties in politics and economic cooperation. He said the 2 sides should further accelerate economic ties, as well as creating conditions for Vietnamese products to enter Japan, and for Japanese businesses to do long-term investment in Vietnam. Yukio Hatoyama expressed his hope that the 2 countries' strategic partnership will continue developing in all aspects. He expressed pleasure at Vietnam's effective use of Japan's official development assistance funding. During the meeting with Prime Minister Dũng, UNESCO Director General Irina Bokova highly valued Vietnam's preservation and protection of heritages. She added she hopes Vietnam will back UNESCO in the prompt signing of a cooperation deal with ASEAN. The Prime Minister highlighted that Vietnam will continue promoting all-around links with UNESCO. He expressed his hope that UNESCO will back Vietnam's dossiers seeking World Heritage status, including Tràng An Scenic Landscape Complex, Cát Bà Tourism Complex, Southern Amateur Singing, and Nghệ Tĩnh Folk Singing.
Deputy Prime Minister Nguyễn Xuân Phúc has said Vietnam and Laos should promote economic cooperation, especially in trade and investment. Phúc made the suggestion while meeting Laos Deputy Prime Minister Somsavat Langsavat in Hanoi on June 21st. Phúc urged Vietnam and Laos to accelerate the construction of roads connecting the 2 countries, initially the Siêng Khoang Hủa Phăn and Nghi Sơn Thanh Hóa land route. He asked the Lao government to continue facilitating Vietnamese businesses' investment in the country. Regarding border cooperation, Phuc noted that both nations have effectively coordinated to ensure social order and security and create favorable conditions for socio-economic development in border localities. The achievements have contributed to cementing and reinforcing the traditional friendship, special solidarity, and comprehensive cooperation between the two countries, he added. The Lao guest thanked the Vietnamese party, government and people for assistance to his country in the course of national construction and development. The 13th National Assembly concluded its fifth session in Hanoi on June 21st after nearly 1 month of sitting.
Addressing the closing ceremony, National Assembly Chairman Nguyễn Sinh Hùng praised the government, branches, agencies, the business community, and the whole population for their determination to obtain significant achievements despite domestic and global economic turmoil. The legislative leader praised and thanked people both at home and abroad for their response and opinions to the draft amendments to the 1992 Constitution. At the session, deputies discussed the contents of the revised constitution, especially issues regarding the nature of the state and political system, people's rights to mastery, human rights, and rights in association with citizen obligations, he said. The legislature conducted the first ever vote of confidence to assess the performance of officials it elected or approved. The fifth session saw the discussion and approval of many important contents in the fields of legislature and supervision and decisions on many significant issues. Its success has contributed to affirming the party and state's resolve in curbing inflation, stabilizing the macroeconomy, ensuring social welfare, maintaining political stability and reasonable growth, and creating momentum for growth in the years to come.
Party Politburo member Đinh Thế Huynh visited the Vietnam News Agency on June 21st on the occasion of Vietnam's 88th Revolutionary Press Day. Huynh, who is head of the party's Central Committee's Commission for Popularization and Education, praised the agency for its contributions to national construction and development. He said the agency has brought into full place its role as the strategic and reliable information agency of the party and state. He said he hopes that as the country's key channel of external services, the Vietnam News Agency will continue popularizing the party and state's guidelines, policies, and viewpoints, as well as promote the image of Vietnam to international friends. General Director of the Vietnam News Agency Nguyễn Đức Lợi committed to renovating the agency operations to fulfill its assigned tasks and meet development requirements. The agency will focus on developing different types of publications and build a modern multimedia consortium, he said. Vietnam News Agency has 40 different publications, printed and electronic newspapers, and a television channel, VNews. It has over 2,300 employees working in 63 bureaus in cities and provinces nationwide and 30 bureaus overseas. And that's VNews from Hanoi. I'm Bảo Ngọc. Thank you for watching and see you next time.